Hi, I'm Craig Lockhart, President of AutoMax Sales Training and Recruiting. One of the first things that our trainers do when they start to develop and initially train new recruits at a car dealership is talk about an author, a motivational speaker by the name of Og Mandino. You might know Og Mandino by some of his books, the bestseller, Greatest Salesman in the World, and many of them. You know, Og was a motivational speaker and just a person that was involved in changing my life and has changed literally hundreds of thousands of lives across the world. And one of the things that we talk about in our initial training is a book that Og wrote called A Better Way to Live. It was basically his autobiography, and the first part was about him, and then the second part of the book was a set of rules. And the rule that we talk about in our training class is rule number 10. It goes like this. Beginning today, treat everyone that you meet, foe and friend, loved one or stranger, as though they could be dead tonight at midnight. And extend to each one of those people, no matter how trivial that contact might be, all the care, kindness, understanding, and love that you can muster with no thought of reward. Your life will never be the same again. Now, in this series of videos, we're going to go over kind of what the practical purpose in the real world this rule might play in specifically the automobile business. You know, let's start at the beginning. As the rule says, beginning today, not tomorrow, but today, right now. Start treating every person that you come in contact with as though they could be dead tonight at midnight. And we'll talk about more as this series goes along. The next part of it says everyone. Foe, or stranger, or enemy might be tough. You know, loved one, friend, that's easy enough to do. Those are people we come in contact with every day and like being around. But the foe or stranger or enemy could be a little tougher to deal with. Let me give you an example. Years ago, it was 11 or 12 years ago when we were first starting this company, we were doing a big presentation for a big dealer group out in the Midwest. And we went out there, we flew out there, we did this presentation to the owner, his partner, his son in this big meeting room. And boy, he smiled and said, what do we do next? And I told him he had to write me a check. And it was a sizable check. And he says, you know what, I like that. Have a seat outside and just give us a minute. So I go outside and think, we got it. This is it. And it was sizable. It would have been a great start to our business. He calls us back in and says, look, we like you, but we have 45 managers and we have a managers meeting tomorrow. We want you to present all this to, so, you know, they buy into this whole thing. Okay, no problem. We'll stay another night. So I'm getting ready for the next morning. It was 47 managers there from all over the state, all dealerships all over the place. And, you know, I was talking to my business partner at the time about what we're going to say and how we're going to start it off. And he says, well, the first thing we should do is this. And I said, you know what? No. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about dead at midnight. That's who we are, and that's what we're going to do. He said, wow, man, I don't know. This is, you know, this is part of the area of the country we're in and the city we're in, and I don't know how they're going to go over that. I said, look, this is who we are. This is how we train. This is how we're going to do it. And we're just going to let the chips fall wherever they may. He said, but how about that check? I said, don't worry about it. You know, the truth will be good to us. So we get out there, and there's 45 managers out there, and most of them are sitting there like this, you know, wondering what they're doing there and who are these guys. And there was one guy specifically, way back in the corner. And this guy had a silk suit on, patent leather shoes, gold everywhere. This guy talked out of the side of his mouth like this. I mean, this guy was so crooked, he even walked crooked. He kind of walked like this, you know, when he walked. So you know the type. So he happened to be a secondary finance manager. No offense to secondary finance managers, but that's what he just happened to be. So at any rate, he's standing in the back there like this, looking at me, right? And I'm going over Og Mandino's rule, treating every person you come in contact with, no matter how trivial that contact, as though they're going to be dead at midnight. Friend, foe, loved one, or stranger. So we leave, and I go, boy, and I don't know if we got him or not. I don't know if it's done or not. Well, that night comes, and we collect the check, and we're going to start the training the next day. Everybody liked it well enough. But before we started the training, this guy that was sitting back in the corner like this, in the silk suit, the patent leather shoes, and all the gold, walks up to me and he says, hey, Lockhart, come here, I want to talk to you for a minute. He says, this dead at midnight stuff. Let me tell you something. I goes home last night, and I I talked to my daughter and her knucklehead boyfriend are having this argument, see, and I walk in on them and they're yelling at each other. And I go, yo, wait, shut up. You, knucklehead, don't say nothing. My princess, has he harmed you in any way? Did he hit you? Do I need to beat him, kill him, or anything? She said, no, Daddy, we're just having an argument. Okay, so knucklehead, you be quiet. Now he says, are you sure, honey, he hasn't? No, Dad, he hasn't done anything to me. Okay. He says, knucklehead, do you love my daughter? And be careful what you say next. He said, yeah, I really do. He says, okay, that's enough. He says, honey, do you love this this moron here that you've been going out with? You know? Yes, Daddy, I really do. Okay, now, I learned something today about this dead at midnight thing. You know, heaven forbid you should do anything to harm my little princess here, and my angel, something happens to her, you're dead at midnight or before. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, be kind to her. Be nice to her. You never know what could happen. And honey, my angel, even this knucklehead, something could happen to him. So, you know, you never know. Treat each other with a little more care, kindness, understanding, and love. All right? Now kiss and make up. He says, so Locker, let me tell you, I'm in on that thing. That works. And I just shook my head and go, yeah, that really does work. This will be the longest of these series of videos that we're going to go over, but I just wanted to kind of lay the foundation of what we're going to be talking about. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.